Thank you for joining us for Dvar Malchus. This is from the 5th of Teives, 5752, Parshas Vayigash. Today's class is dedicated to the Refura Shelema of Ariel ben Simcha. May it be speedily and immediate. We are on page 333. Today, the 5th of Teives is connected to the freeing of the books and manuscripts of the Rebbes and leaders that are in the library of the Chabad Lubavitch under the jurisdiction of my revered father-in-law, the Rebbe leader of our generation. And these days are remembered, that they celebrate that when this day arrives every year, they are remembered. And through this, the matters that were accomplished the first time transpired. And based on the words of the Mishnah, the mitzvah brings along another mitzvah. And the fulfillment of one mitzvah brings the person the fulfillment of the mitzvah to fulfill yet another mitzvah, and especially and mainly fulfill the mitzvah itself, which this is the ruling regarding every mitzvah, and most certainly regarding the great mitzvah of redeeming captives. It is understood that the mitzvah and concept of redeeming the captives that was accomplished on the 5th of Teives, which is similar to redeeming the captives in a simple sense, causes bring along that we should fulfill more mitzvahs, and in a particular meaning, the mitzvah of redeeming captives, and regarding this manner of redeeming captive itself, in these days there is a group of books along with the manuscripts that are together with these books, which are waiting for their redemption from captivity, namely that they are to be returned to their true owner, the leader of our generation, my father-in-law the Rebbe, to be returned to his 4 cubits, which are together with the 4 cubits of the synagogue, study hall, and house of good deeds, the acts of kindness, in particular the house of our Rebbe in the diaspora, and being that one mitzvah brings along another mitzvah. This is understood likewise in our case that the fulfillment of the mitzvah of the redeeming of the captives of the 5th of Teives brings along, as well as the fulfillment of the mitzvah of the redemption and return of the above-mentioned books and manuscripts. And may we add that the above-mentioned phenomena of one mitzvah brings along another with it another mitzvah. From one mitzvah redeeming captives to the second mitzvah of redeeming captives, even more emphasized when it is regarding that of books. Books of Torah are a wisdom, and within in itself holy wisdom, the wisdom of the Torah, for it is understood that every book of Torah is necessary for all other books, since through the study and knowledge of this book, an addition and comprehension of other books is attained. Likewise, also regarding our case, being that the completeness of the study of the previous books, whose redemption was accomplished on the 5th of Teives, is dependent on the study of the books that are found presently in captivity. Hence, the completeness of the redemption of these books on the 5th of Teives is when this brings about the redemption of the mentioned books and all their books, which is still waiting for their redemption, and especially that they are both part of one library, the library of Chabad Lubavitch, under the leadership of my revered father-in-law, the Rebbe, leader of our generation. Furthermore, all this is essential. Moreover, it is essential matter. The mitzvah of the redemption of the captives on the 5th of Teives brings about, similar to one mitzvah leads to another mitzvah, also the true and complete redemption of captives by Hashem, the redemption of all the Jewish people and the matters of the Torah, as well as all the matters in general for the exile of the true and complete redemption. And may we add that also this idea of the connection to the redemption, especially emphasized regarding the books, as known that the redemption is dependent on the redemption and the refinement of the elevation and all sparks of holiness that are in captivity in the concealment of the world, and being that all matters being with are drawn down from Torah, it is understood that the power of this comes from the phenomenon similar to Torah and the redemption of the matters of Torah that are in captivity. Another point in the connection to these two matters, the true and redemption of captivities and victory of these books, is obviously specific when through this there is an idiom and an additional in the study of when there is in addition in the study of the books of Torah, including mainly in the study of these books, when this is understood that the day of the 5th of Teives must cause a strengthening and addition to the study of the Torah books, being with the first book of the oral Torah, the book of the Mishnah, and based on that it is yet even greater understood how the redemption of the books leads to the greater redemption of the Gula, and as stated in the verse, Zion will be redeemed with law, meaning that through Torah study, which specifically this constitutes true victory and redemption of the books, as mentioned above, the redemption of Zion, Yerushalayim, is accomplished, and especially through the study of the books, beginning with the book of the Mishnah, the word of our sages, all the exiles are redeemed only in the merit of the Mishnah, and Zion will be redeemed with the law, as it is more emphasized through the study of the books that were redeemed. And to add from this, it is also understood regarding the action that in the event of 5th Teives, on the event of the 5th of Teives must lead to the first and foremost the strengthening and addition in the study of Torah books, including the beginning with the study of Mishnah, which which brings about from the redemption of the books, we come to the right of the redemption of the Gula, as mentioned above, and through the resolutions alone, for since Hashem sees that there are true resolutions and they will be certainly fulfilled, the resolutions themselves affect the same exact as had the Mishnah had been studied already. And may we add and connect all above, elusively speaking, to the Parsha of the week, Parshas Vayigash. It says in the Zohar that Vayigash Elev Yehuda, and Yehuda approached him, in the concept of the redemption being adjacent to the prayer from the blessings of He redeemed the Jewish people. We immediately, without any interruption, begin the Amidah prayer, beginning with the verse, Hashem opened my lips, which is considered an extension of the Amidah. The main reason for the redemption being adjacent to prayer is that the prayer be accepted, as He says in Yerushalayim. Whoever does not pray right after the redemption, what is he compared to? To a dear friend of the king who came to Berirtek and knocked on the king's door. He came out to see what he wants, and he saw that he left. He too went away, and the king also disregarded him. Similarly, in our case, on the 5th of Teives is a day related to the phenomenon of redemption, the redemption of the book of the Rebbe's of our leaders, as mentioned earlier. Immediately following the redemption, there is a prayer and request for the books that are still waiting their redemption. Furthermore, and mainly the prayer for the general redemption of the true and complete redemption. And through the prayer being right after the redemption, and in our case, that the above-mentioned prayers are adjacent to the accomplishment of the redemption and the redemption of the captives that was accomplished on this day, the 5th of Teives, this accomplishes that Hashem should accept the prayers of the Jewish people and immediately redeem all the books and redeem all the Jewish people in the true and complete redemption. And with our young and our old, our sons and our daughters, we go together with all the books, both the books that were already returned as well as the books and manuscripts which will be returned literally immediately to our Holy Land. Based on what is written in continuation to Zion, we will be redeemed with the law, and its captives with tzedakah. Namely, tzedakah accomplishes the concept of redeeming captives. As the words of our sages, great is tzedakah, for it hastens the redemption. We know now, make every one of you a messenger to give tzedakah. We will give each person $2, $1 bill, which each person can use for what they decide, and the $2 bill to be used for giving tzedakah. And may it be the will of Hashem that the fulfillment of the mitzvah of tzedakah should not only hasten the redemption, which even hastens has different degrees and manners. Rather, it should be hastening similar to the redemption adjacent to prayer, that is, with no interruptions at all, namely that through the actions of tzedakah we immediately have, and even before the continuation of speaking about this, the true and complete redemption through Mashiach, together with Eliyahu, the prophet, who is remembered for good, who announces the redemption, and automatically we will give tzedakah in all the matters of the following this, in our holy land, in our holy city, and in our holy mountain. And if, heaven forbid, there will be a delay, everyone will give it in his place and city, adding more tzedakah from his own money. Furthermore, and mainly with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, men and women, children together, fly with the clouds of heaven, together with the good resolution regarding tzedakah and good deeds in general, and in detail in our holy land, and there in Yerushalayim, the holy city, and on the holy mountain, and the third base of Migdash, and literally immediately. Thank you for watching our class. Chaim, Tzai Gezun, and Tzlach Rabba.